are Smart City Navigators, a podcast about innovation, sustainability, and new technologies on the market.
This podcast is brought to you by NaviParking. Magdalena has been passionate about psychology for many years and uses the acquired skills in everyday contact with people that gives her a lot of joy. She's guided by the belief that you can learn something from everyone you meet. She enjoys giving back to her community and helping out others in need. At NaviParking, she is responsible for sales and product development from the perspective of adjusting to customer needs. She's a happy owner of 3 pets, collects potted plants, and listens to electronic music in her free time. Let's welcome Magdalena Malinowska in today's episode of Smart City Navigators podcast. Hello, Malina.
Hi.
How are you today?
I'm fine, pretty fine. I'm excited after an exhibition, but yeah, pretty fine.
Okay, about exhibition, we're gonna explore this topic today, but let's start from the beginning. When did you start to interesting into this topic about people with disabilities and also about psychology?
Let me begin with a short story because it's a good question. To be honest, psychology is my thing, and I've been interested in the topic since, junior high school. And one day I just decided to, start studying it because it's an interesting topic and really on time. And I remember the day when I, for the first time, saw my list of lecture from my study. And social psychology seems to be really boring at that time, to be honest. But I have to admit that University of Social Science and Humanities did a great job because they awakened my curiosity about the world, about the people and their behavior and how does it influence their decision. And probably your question is how does it deals with our main topic?
Yes, of
about
course.
People with disabilities. It's all about this curiosity because when I had a meeting with one of the facility manager in Warsaw, in the end of our meeting, she told me that our application is really good for people with disabilities. And you know what? I have no idea how to react because at the time, to be honest, I hadn't known anybody with that kind of problem. But I thought that maybe it's really interesting to investigate. I don't know. Let's start. And I posted on my Facebook a short request because I totally believe in the magic of social media. A short request to my friends asking them for help to reach out to people with disabilities. And they start writing to me and I start replying to them. And the more information I get, the more convinced I was that it's really a huge problem that we discovered as a company, and we couldn't stay neutral,
So what kind of specific problems you found out after speaking with people with disabilities?
So the main problem, because, many people believe that the main problem in parking lots are carbs. But they are not problematic as much as, for example, taking coins out of the wallet when you have problem with, handing something in your hands, and, for example, reaching to a pay station on the level of a wheelchair. It may cause more difficulties for people with disabilities. And our application, can solve all this problem because it's only one place. You can, start from entering barriers and through mobile payments and buying a subscription, making the reservation. It's really useful for them. So that's why I decided to start, investigating this topic more and start doing something in that direction.
So is there any specific person with disabilities who you contact with?
Yes, of course, because when I discovered that problem, I decided to make a short interview with someone who has this problem. And that's how I met Sławek Florkowski. He's a member of Polish Without Barriers Foundation. And we had a really, really nice conversation. And he told me about all this stuff, that the whole problem which people with disabilities have on parking lots. We also went to our parking lots, which we digitized. And when he saw for the first time our application and how it could help, he was really amazed. And when I take a look at him from our perspective, like from a business developer, from account manager, it was really amazing to have such a great impact on this in the future.
So did you take Sławek to step-by-step process?
Yeah, he could take the whole see the whole process of parking with our application, and then he told me that it's really good, and he thinks that we should develop it.
You found that there is a problem, right? You also found a solution for that problem.
Of course.
So what led you to the next steps?
So my next step, it's a funny situation because I remember the day when I came back to my flat and my best friend Maniek came to my flat, and I told him that I discovered that kind of problem and what should I do? And he told me, maybe a mural is a good idea. And I said, okay, it's a really good idea, but I don't know any artist who does things like this. And he showed me an Instagram with Dariusz Paczkowski. He's well known for painting and murals. And I decided to, try to contact him. Maybe he will meet with me, and we can do something together. And that's how it worked. I wrote to Dariusz, and we drink coffee together. And he got me into touch with foundation of Avalanche Foundation, and that's why. In December, we made an exhibition together dealing with stereotypes of people with disabilities.
And what is Avalanche Foundation?
Avalanche Foundation is a foundation which fight for rights with people with disabilities, with rehabilitation, and against stereotypes towards those people, basically.
Nice. So you start to working with people with disabilities and also working about exhibition.
Yeah.
What's the main theme of the exhibition?
The main theme of the exhibition was to struggle with stereotypes which are against people with disabilities. Because their life, it's really hard to get into someone's boots when the problem doesn't concern you. When you wake up in the morning, the last thing you start thinking about is how people with disabilities live. So that's why I decided to organize an exhibition during which we show through the pieces of arts, which of course will be auctioned. Through Allegro Charytatywni, how their life really looks like, that they really are optimistic, they are successful people, and sometimes I think, to be honest, that they have more power, they are more powerful in life than the others, But the stereotypes show the different way, and that's the problem.
Yes, I must admit the exhibition was great.
I know. Thank you.
Also, about this entire exhibition, we're going to leave the link in the description below of this video, and you can see the entire review of the event. Personally, for myself, it was stunning to see the man without his eyesight, and he was learning how to be a DJ.
Yeah.
And the DJ, a friend of yours, he was teaching this guy how to be a DJ. Wow, that was great.
It was. I saw how Piotr was happy with this. And after the whole exhibition, when we finished, I talked to him, and he told me that it was really amazing experience for him because he felt that he's worth something, and he's a part of our project. He truly was. So yeah, that was amazing.
After the exhibition, what is going to happen with donated money?
Now the exhibition, the whole pieces of art, all of pieces of art are auctioned until the end of January. So I truly warmly invite you to be part of it. And in the end, the whole donated amount of money will be, the gift for Foundation Avalanche Foundation to do their best.
I also know about your experiment you conducted with Alan.
Yeah, it was the experiment was huge fun for us because before that time I didn't know Alan. I just saw him for the first time on the interview 7 meters underground. This podcast.
Yeah, it's a YouTube channel.
YouTube channel, yeah. And when I started thinking about people with disabilities and what we can do as an organization together, I looking for some information on the internet, and Alan, okay, so let's contact with him. And the funniest thing was that my colleague know him from junior high school. So it
Coincidence?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
So it was easier to get in touch. And we decided to, because Alan also studies psychology as me. And we decided to conduct a social experiment with Professor Doliński to check whether how in general looks the verbal declaration about helping people with disabilities and how it looks in real. And to be honest, results were really sad because I don't remember exactly, but about 43% of people helped him while he was trying to get onto pavement. So it was really sad because, people were looking at him and didn't help. And I started thinking what was the main, reason why they didn't help. And I think it's the lack of education because they don't know how to react when they see people with disabilities. Because it's a stereotype that those people don't need help, and it's not true.
Or it's awkward to help them.
Yeah,
right?
It's awkward to help them. It's not true because the best thing you can do is just ask whether they need help, your help.
So the end goal of this entire campaign, because we have to name it exactly. It's a campaign because you found a problem, you found a solution, and then you're trying to implement that into people with disabilities' lives, right?
Yeah, I want to make their life easier, just basically, with our application.
Nice. So what about some tips or lessons you learned from this entire experiment or entire campaign?
So the first tip is to ask whether you can help. So if you see a person with disabilities, just don't look through your stereotypes. The best solution, you stop overthinking. Stop overthinking. Just ask whether this person needs help, because it's a stereotype that they will feel awkward or something when you ask. But it's not true. It's not true because it depends on the person and not on your stereotype and your perspective. So the best solution is just to ask. And second thing...
you mean ask if they need any help, right?
Yeah. The second thing is don't park on places which are adapted for people with disabilities. I don't know, have you ever seen a person with disabilities leaving the car?
No, actually, I've never seen that in real life.
Okay, so I think I've seen it for the first time with Alan. And I know why they need such a huge place, because this process doesn't take a long time. It needs space because they have to leave this wheelchair and have enough place to just turn the car around or something like this. So it's really problematic for them when you park your car on their adapted place. So that's the second tip. And third one, just be kind to people. That's all.
It doesn't matter if there is a person with disabilities.
Yeah, it will pay you off. Basically, when you're kind, the energy which people gives you back will pay off with your level of the dopamine in your brain, for example. So be kind.
Just be kind, and at the end, you learn some lessons, right? And we as an organization, we as a NaviParking, how can we help people with disabilities?
Everybody knows that technology helps with living. I don't know if you can imagine life without smartphones, computers, and even washing machine.
Not gonna happen.
So the same is with our application from my perspective, because as an account manager, I have a vision that our application is useful for everybody. Because it's easy to use, to start from opening barriers by sliding in an app, sliding button in an app, or by recognizing number of registration number of your car through mobile payments, which is really useful, and it really
It's handy, right?
Handy, yeah, it's handy. And also when you, for example, in the city of the center and you can't find a place, you just can, make a reservation sooner. So I truly believe that our application has huge potential, and not only for people with disabilities, but also for everyone. And that's why I wanted to, be in that direction to solve this problem, and to also see maybe more problem which we can solve as an organization.
I really enjoyed that because many organizations, maybe they think about people with disabilities, but not from the beginning. And us as a scale-up right now, not a startup, but a scale-up, we think about those people. And you found a problem, you found a solution. You made the beautiful exhibition. I really enjoyed that. It was huge fun up there. And any final word?
So as a final word, as I mentioned before, I truly believe that we should be kind, because we live in really unpredictable times nowadays, and we don't know what future will bring, and we should be more empathetic, because you don't know what's in others' life and why they behave like this, because their behavior can, be an influence from something, from some problems for the people, and I truly believe that we should stay together as a society.
I really admire you because you have some inner voice that led you to solve these problems, right? Not many people think about that. When you ask me, did you see any person with disabilities park on a parking spot? I've never saw that before. And right now,
because it's a lack of education, it's a taboo topic.
Yeah.
Nobody talked. It's better to look through influencer on Instagram than looking on something which is unpleasant some kind. It's our word too nowadays. To be honest.
But I think we're heading into a very good direction. We as an organization, and I think we have some impact and influence how this city, and in our vision, smart city, might look like in the future, right?
Yeah, that's our direction, and I truly believe that our application will help not only with people with disabilities, but it will give comfort for everybody.
Yes, of course. Malina, thank you so much for this interview.
Thank you for having me here.
And I really enjoyed your exhibition, and I'm, fingers crossed about your project for the future.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for listening to Smart City Navigators podcast. We hope you enjoyed today's episode. Join the conversation by leaving a comment and sharing your thoughts. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the next episode, in which we'll do another deep dive into a topic related to innovation, sustainability, and new technologies. See you next time.